Thanks for tuning in. This is where we dive into each of the 14 elements of the process safety management program. And today we're talking all about the pre-startup safety review. The acronym, or the short way to say it, is PSSR. And so what is a pre-startup safety review? Well, when you build a facility or execute on a project, there's a lot of moving parts. It's complicated. There's everything from the front end engineering design, where engineering firms or personnel, they've run calculations about how you should design something, and then that's going to change a lot of hands, right? And by the way, it's typically not just one design, right? The engineers will design it. They'll ask the operations people, is this going to do what you want? Yes, no, no. Okay, we're going to redo this or tweak that. And so there's like all these different revisions. And so once they sign off on it, you're going to say, all right, we're going to pass this on to a construction company that can go build the thing. And so you got to make sure that the right revision or the latest version of that makes it to the construction company. They're going to take it and fabricate it. And depending on the complexity of the facility, usually it's not just one construction contractor. You might have like a general construction contractor, but they're going to have all these subcontractors that, like, some are building this little piece and some are building that piece, and they might have fabrication shops all over the world, and they're kind of bringing all this stuff together. And then they realize that maybe this or that doesn't quite match up because of the country it was built in, and so they're trying to make everything work. And then you have the electrical piece, so all the electricians are coming, trying to like put all the wiring in. And then you got the automation people, the computer programmers that are going to teach the valves to open and shut the way that they're supposed to. And so there's like custom code that's being built. And then you've got, once all of that is kind of built, and these could be small things, and they could be like huge facilities, like 80 acres, 160 acre, enormous facilities. So just imagine all the moving pieces in that, thousands upon thousands of components, and any one of them could fail. So then you go through kind of these tests and checks to like make sure if you flip the on switch, it turns on. If it, turn it off, it turns off. Or when you want it to open, it opens. So you kind of test everything. And then it comes time to commission the thing, right? And depending on the size and complexity, this might have taken years to execute, right? From the front end engineering design on through, construction and commissioning. And so now you're ready. Oh, you're ready. Everyone's so excited to just, launch this new facility. You can start making money. And so before you can start it really and turn the keys over to the operations personnel, you need to do what's called a pre-startup safety review. And again, just like lots of things within the process safety management program, they've tried to systematize something to make sure that you're not missing anything. And it's really a big questionnaire, and it's meant to be done at the facility by everyone who's kind of had they're all stakeholders, right? Whether they're engineers or they're electricians, like everyone's in this same room, or preferably they're outside standing in front of the equipment. They're going through this checklist and they're asking all these questions. Did you do this? Did you do that? Has everyone checked all the bolts to make sure they're tightened? And so it's a very thorough and systematic approach to make sure that by the time you open the valve and introduce the feed to the facility, that it's safe, it's reliable, it's going to do what you're expecting it to do, and ultimately the project will be a success. Now, the key to pre-startup safety review is the pre part. And as auditors for PSM programs, and as someone who's spent years on projects like this, time and again, people don't execute the pre-startup safety review until after they've started the facility. There's kind of this awkward time when you're testing things, and so you're needing to slowly introduce, um, feed products, where you need to start pressuring up things to kind of test it, make sure there's no leaks and all that kind of stuff. And it's really tempting to get too excited and just, hey, once the valve is cracked open, let's just let the whole thing come open and let's just start running. and we get it too, because there's a lot of pressure from upper management to start making money. We've spent years and thousands, if not millions of dollars on building this project, and we want it to start operating and making money. And so there's a pressure to get it started and get it going. But a pre-startup safety review, at its very purpose and core intent, is to make sure that before you run anything, that all the checks and balances have been in the right spot. Again, there's going to be lots of things to track, because you're going to find stuff that's not quite right. And again, it can be cumbersome to track these action items and figure out, who owns it and who's working on it and all that kind of stuff. We dive deep into our masterclass about how to do that, the best practices on how to track action items, the best ways to make sure that your approach to a PSSR is thorough and making sure that you're checking all the right boxes. That way you have the best chance of success when you're ready for your project to get started up. So we're excited for you to join us in the full masterclass. Again, we dive deep into this and we geek out about it. And so this is what we love to do. We're excited to see you in there. Thanks for joining us.